Continuing on from our previous video. Safety belts. Kentucky law states, no person shall operate a motor vehicle manufactured after 1981 on the public roadways of the state unless the driver and all passengers are wearing a properly adjusted and fastened safety belt. The driver is responsible for assuring that he and all passengers in the vehicle are properly restrained. Any person who violates the provision of Kentucky's safety belt law shall be fined an amount not to exceed $25. In addition to court costs of approximately $10. The proper use of safety belts is important. Use both the lap and the shoulder belt. The lap belt should be low and snug across the hips, not high on the abdomen. The shoulder belt should cross the collarbone and should never be placed behind your back. Seat belt law is primary in Kentucky and drivers can be stopped by law enforcement officers if observed driving while not wearing seat belts. The advantages of wearing your safety belts are: 1. They will keep you inside the vehicle during a rollover. Your chances of surviving a crash are 5 times greater if you stay inside the protection of your vehicle. 2. They hold you in your seated position during sudden stops and turns and prevent you from impacting the steering wheel or dashboard during a collision. You should realize that your body moves toward the steering wheel or dashboard during a frontal collision. If you are not belted in properly and you are traveling at 55 miles per hour when the collision occurs, your body will impact the steering wheel or dashboard at the same speed. The odds of you surviving this type of crash without proper safety belt usage are small. Airbags. Most vehicles are equipped with one or more airbags to supplement the safety belts. Airbags reduce the likelihood that the occupant's head or torso will strike some portion of the vehicle's interior. Airbags are designed to inflate if the sensors detect a significant frontal collision. The airbags deploy at speeds of 160 to 200 miles per hour, and the entire deployment process takes about 1/20th of a second, faster than the blink of an eye. In the event your airbag deploys, it is common for a powder-like substance to fill the vehicle compartment. This substance is only a drying agent for the airbag but could be mistaken for smoke. If your vehicle is equipped with an airbag, there are some things you should remember to avoid serious injury. 1. Move the seat back. The driver's seat should be as far back from the dashboard as possible while still being able to operate the vehicle safely. The passenger seat should also be set back as far as possible. 2. Drivers should place their hands on the outside of the steering wheel, never across the steering wheel where the airbag deploys. 3. Children 12 years of age and under should ride in the back seat in a safety belt or child restraint system. The risk to children from airbags can be virtually eliminated if children are in the back seat. 4. Infants in rear-facing child safety restraint systems should never ride in the front seat of a vehicle with the passenger side airbags enabled. Turn off the airbag if your vehicle is equipped with the factory-installed disabling switch. Child restraint systems. Kentucky law states, any driver of a motor vehicle, when transporting a child of 40 inches in height or less in a motor vehicle operated on the roadways, streets, and highways of the state, shall have the child properly secured in a child restraint system of a type meeting federal motor vehicle safety standards. Any person who violates the provisions of Kentucky's child restraint law shall be fined $50, and shall pay an additional fee of $10, which shall be deposited in the Traumatic Brain Injury Trust Fund. Proper installation of the child safety seat is your first priority. The safety seat will not provide the maximum protection if not properly installed. The safety seat should ideally be placed in the middle of the rear seat and anchored to prevent any movement in the event of a collision. Assistance with the installation of your child safety seat may be found at a child safety seat inspection site at your local Kentucky State Police post. Unattended children. Each year children are injured or tragically die as a result of being left unattended in a vehicle. When you leave a child in the vehicle alone, with the keys in the ignition, you risk the child moving the vehicle and causing a collision. When you leave a small child in the vehicle for an extended time during hot weather, you risk the life of that child. Kentucky law states it is illegal to leave a child under the age of 8 years in a motor vehicle under circumstances which manifest an extreme indifference to human life and which create a grave risk of death to the child, thereby causing the death. There are several statutes in Kentucky law that makes it illegal to endanger the life or health of a child. Steering locks and locking systems. The spring-loaded steering lock has been standard equipment on most vehicles worldwide since 1969. It serves as an auto theft device. Be cautious with vehicles with steering lock devices. Never turn your ignition key to the lock position while the vehicle is in motion. That will cause the steering to lock and result in loss of vehicle control. Transmission park system. Park. Shift the transmission into the park position. Turn key to lock and remove. Two-hand button system. Park. This system requires 2 hands. Depress button below the steering column. Turn key to lock and remove. Lever system. Park. Depress lever located near the ignition. Turn key to lock and remove. One-hand button system. Park. Depress button near the ignition. Turn key to lock and remove. Push-in system. Park. Turn key to off, push in. Turn key to lock and remove. Turn and remove system. Park. Turn key to lock and remove. Collisions. If you are involved in a collision, take the following steps. 1. Stop your vehicle at or near the crash scene. Stay there until the police have arrived and questioned everyone involved. 2. In accordance with KRS 189.580 Section 1, Article B, when involved in a non-injury accident, move the damaged vehicles to the shoulder of the roadway. 3. Get the names and addresses of all people involved in the collision and any witnesses. 4. Record the following information regarding any other operator involved in the collision. A. Name, address, and license number from the operator's license. B. Vehicle registration number. C. Make, model, and year of vehicle. D. License plate number. E. Insurance company name and number. F. List of damage to vehicle. 5. Record exactly what happened immediately before and after the collision. Later you may not remember everything correctly. 6. Always contact the police if there is an injury, death, or vehicle and property damage exceeding $500. Any person operating a motor vehicle on the highways of the state who is involved in an accident resulting in any property damage exceeding $500 in which an investigation is not conducted by a law enforcement officer, shall file a written report of the accident with the Department of State Police within 10 days of occurrence of the accident, using forms provided by the department. Send this report to the following address. Kentucky State Police, 1266 Louisville Road, Frankfort, Kentucky 40601. This must be done within 10 days after the accident, regardless of who is at fault. Such a report is not necessary if the police have made a report. If the accident involves a parked vehicle, try to find the owner. If you cannot, leave a note where it can be seen. The note should contain your name and address, your driver's license number, license plate number, date and time of accident. First aid to accident victims. By prompt and proper action, you may be able to assist in saving a life or in easing pain and suffering of persons who have been injured in traffic or other mishaps. 1. Summon trained and skilled help. If possible, call emergency medical personnel and notify a peace officer. You should clearly and correctly state the place of the accident so that emergency personnel can find you easily. 2. Only in life-threatening emergencies should you try to remove an individual from a collision. If possible, wait for an EMT or ambulance rather than attempt to remove an individual from a collision. 3. Keep the victim warm by covering him or her with a blanket or coat if necessary.